the Euro World, Euro Road
Euro
Race.
Worlds.
The Euro Worlds.
The Euro Worlds.
Yeah,
That's what it was, right? It was the Euro Worlds. It was
Yeah.
The worlds, the normal worlds are the Euro Worlds, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the Spin Cycle Podcast, everybody. I'm Kaylee Fretz. Today on the show, Movistar is the new destination team. Not on my bingo card. Kristoff crashed out, and we are headed back to Ayuso Alleyway, our favorite, dampest, darkest alleyway. Let's get to it. Welcome back, Johnny Long.
Happy Monday.
Happy
I'm not off to
Monday.
Movistar. as far as I know.
And Kit Nicholson. Welcome back, Kit.
Hello.
Let's kick off with, I guess, sort of the biggest news of the last week. If we are sort of somewhat ignoring the Euros, which we'll get to. There's plenty of Euros in the show. Don't you worry, Euros fans, even though I disparaged them quite firmly, I think, in last week's episode. Cian Uijtdebroeks. Are we each going to try a pronunciation there? Cian Uijtdebroeks.
Uijtdebroeks.
Cian Uijtdebroeks.
Oh,
Kit's going to win, obviously.
Belgians tell us.
I'm trying to find Jose Bain's video with him from a while ago, but I can't find it.
Okay.
So,
Anyway.
Uijtdebroeks was a huge talent, right? Huge junior talent. Ended up swapping over to Visma in a broken contract and is now swapping out of another broken contract to Movistar, which is not where I would have guessed a young, up-and-coming, big dreams kind of rider.
Belgian guy.
Pulling the reverse Matteo Jorgensen and ending up at a team that Matteo has told us numerous times basically provided no support for somebody to be a good bicycle racer. Had to pay for his own altitude camps and things like that. And yet, Uijtdebroeks is going the other direction. This is a rider who, 3 years ago, we were talking about being kind of the next big thing, right? And has not really been kind of.
He has had a lot of illness and injury.
He has. But the reasons aside, illness and injury, I guess that's part of being a professional athlete to some extent, hasn't really executed on that promise, I would say. What do we think about this? Off to Movistar. It's a completely insane move, right?
It also came completely out of the blue. It was apparently agreed before World Championships and was being talked about for a couple of weeks before that. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Movistar was smarting having lost Juan Ayuso, and they have Enric Mas, who he's gonna keep coming second, third, fourth, fifth at big races, and they're not, and so they want somebody else to do the same, I guess. I don't know. It's weird. It's odd.
Let's be clear that this is a great signing for Movistar. Right?
Yeah.
Like, they probably couldn't believe it when he was like, yeah. But we've also had some revisionist history with Cian because, he was like, an up-and-coming hopeful. But then the whole leaving Bora Hansgrohe for Visma story kind of catapulted him into that conversation because it's like, okay, wow, if these teams are kind of fighting over him and there's like these agents involved and basically the story hit just as the season was winding down. So it's like everyone was like, accelerate forward, let's just cover the story to death. So it's kind of been a creation of, I don't know, PR and the cyclical nature of the cycling season, whatever. Yeah. He basically is going because at Visma he's fallen out of the pecking order in terms of he's been told and openly asked and been told that he's not going to be getting leadership opportunities there at Grand Tours anytime soon. And fair enough, they've come to that arrangement. He's then I mean, like, yeah, sure. Right? Not a huge surprise, but
what has he done to on that team of all teams? Like, won the Tour de l'Avenir in 2022 and hasn't done.
And he's otherwise done stuff at 2.1 races, third tier races in France.
Yeah, he won the Tour de l'Avenir this year.
Yeah, that was his first and only win, maybe for Visma. I can't remember. Well, at least this season.
He won a couple others. You're
ago.
right. It is the only thing. He won a youth classification at the Czech Tour.
But so this story finally started squeaking out the night before beforehand. I think I posted in the Slack
Yeah.
saying.
There's some news
There's a
coming.
Cian, I've been told there's a Cian Uijtdebroeks announcement coming tomorrow morning. Apparently, maybe a transfer, but no one,
I mean, he just raced World, so there was basically one thing it could be.
Well, I thought it may be like an extended break from racing or something like that. That's where my mind went. Just I think because of the pressure put on riders these days, and because of sort of underperforming. Even though he seems to be getting back to where his trajectory.
It does say a lot about the sport that exact instance, my head would have gone to doping 7 years ago, even.
Yeah.
Like,
sure.
he got popped, right? And the announcement's coming tomorrow from the UCI or whatever. So it's nice that we don't have to think about that anymore.
Yeah, and astonishing they didn't leak out. I'm sure a bunch of Belgian journalists knew, but had been told to keep it under wraps, and they do what they're told.
They do.
Sorry. Oh my God, what was
it trickling out the night before?
Oh, sorry, yes. But you have to say that this has been handled remarkably well by both parties in terms of situations not working out. They've found Movistar have come along to collect him, and then it's all seemingly quite amicable, and everyone's just getting on with it. And maybe Cian's had to maybe suspend disbelief and be like, right, you know what, actually things, at least at Movistar, even if it's nowhere near the team that Visma is, at least I can know for sure that I will get the leadership opportunities and can do that, and everything else I can kind of control and take that upon myself. But then the part of the puzzle I couldn't solve is now solved by me moving to a team with no, like a Grand Tour team supposedly, but without Grand Tour leaders.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he goes from being number 15 on the packing order or something to number 2, maybe number 1.
Or
in a year or two.
Pidcock. It's like the Pidcock move to Q36.5 in a less obvious way that it makes sense. But yeah, like great. More riders who are backing themselves and clearly have at least some talent. Spreading out across the peloton is only
exactly. Yeah, spreading out some of the wealth, some of the talent is something that we'd all like to see a bit more of, I think.
The full Tom Pidcock would have been going to like the Titama Rockets or something like that.
That is true. Yeah, that would be
very
character
fun.
for him. Yeah.
I doubt they could pay him anywhere near what he wants to be paid. They did just hide Dylan Groenewegen, but Dylan Groenewegen probably also isn't getting paid what he was paid.
He's also over the crest. Yeah.
They did make a big deal of how much they were paying him. Though,
they did.
At the time
yes.
announcement.
Yeah.
I can imagine if they paid Tom Pidcock, it would have to include things like Baz Tiedemann just bursting into Tom Pidcock's room at like 4 a.m. and wrenching him out of bed for a carpool karaoke or whatever they do. But yeah, always up for a transfer story. Just this one kind of came out and hit everyone by surprise. So then it takes a while to get used to it.
It put some diamonds in his legs for Saturday. Yeah. Although he did attack a lap too early, which seemed like the wrong time to go.
Better
anyway,
to attack
he was on good
form. A lap too early than a lap too late, is what I would say.
Yeah.
Should we provide the PR approved quotes here? So we have a Richard Plugge.
They're very Movistar quotes.
Yeah, Plugge says the honest truth is that Cian's ambitions and those of the team have started to move in different directions. I would say the ambitions of the team probably haven't really changed. No. But the ambitions of Cian, if we could do sort of like we could do a translation of these quotes, perhaps.
Okay, yeah, but the ambitions of Cian haven't changed either. It's just that they now don't agree they can do it together.
Right.
Okay, do it again, Kaylee, and you read the line, and then I'll tell you what they actually mean.
Okay, it's like cut it up into bits. You mean?
Yeah.
The honest truth is that
what we are going to tell everyone, even though it's not true.
Cian's ambitions and those of the team have started to move in different directions.
Cian thinks he's better than we think he is, and we are deciding to believe our beliefs rather than his. Is that fair?
Yeah. Cian thinks he's good, and we think he's not so good.
He is good.
He is good.
He's just not as good.
As good as they're improving. They've got so many good riders.
Well, let's do some translations off of Cian's quotes, which is, I am convinced that Movistar team, and riders like Rick Mas in particular, can help me grow in this discipline and achieve great results.
Movistar were able to pay me a sum of money I found acceptable, and Enric Mas, as I am calling him out by name, is now going to have to work for me and me not work for him. Fair?
He might. Well, I think you're right, Jed. I actually kind of like this transfer, and I think that riders moving for the Secret Pro mentioned this. Riders moving
To back themselves.
to put themselves in a position where they can win stuff is a worthwhile reason to move, right? It's not
And
just
get
chasing
opportunities
money.
to go to races other than the Tour de l'Ain. I mean, not
Yeah.
that these races aren't good, but they're for Guillaume Martin, not for Cian Uijtdebroeks.
Yes, exactly. So I approve of this, and I think Movistar does come out better, right? I mean, that's a team that's been just completely listless for a couple of years now. Like basically since
Yeah.
Valverde left, that team has just had no idea what they're doing.
Yeah, glimmers of hope from Ivan Romeo, but it's
Okay, so these are the races that Cian went to in 2024, his first season with Visma Leasebike. Okay, Gran Camino, Tirreno, Catalunya, the Giro, Tour de Suisse, Burgos, the Vuelta. Okay, pretty good. That's
like
not
that.
bad.
Yeah.
That's World Tour top caliber rider picking and choosing their schedule. 2025, Tour of Oman, couple of French 1 Point Pro classics. Did go to Tirreno. 3 more French
DNF though
one-dayers.
out of it.
Yeah, DNF Tirreno. Did go to San Sebastian, finished top 10. Then Tour de l'Ain, Czech Tour, and Tour of Slovakia, and then Giro
Rough.
d'Emilia.
Yeah.
So yeah, he was ill and was injured, but it just fair enough. You go to those, you go to those races. You will then turn around to the team and be like, "Is this my life now? Is this what I'm going to be doing?" And if
he's
the
only
answer is
22
yeah,
as well, so
Yeah.
he's
Yeah,
still
true.
really young.
Yeah.
He could get a lot better. Let's move on from
Yeah.
Cian Uijtdebroeks. Like I said, we
He
like
is
it.
going to the Tour of Guangxi,
he is.
obviously.
Well, obviously. I mean,
He's going to win it now. You watch.
Yeah.
has there ever been a more perfect marriage of bike racer
Yeah.
and bike race than the guy who just walked out the door at Visma
what
and
about-
Tour of Guangxi?
What about Victor Lefay, who was given a massive contract with Decathlon, hasn't really produced it, is out of contract at the end of the year. He's in Guangxi as well.
Yeah,
Oh, of
we
course he
haven't
is.
really heard what he's going to, because he was talking about quitting in the summer.
Retiring.
Yeah.
Mm.
But he's having to prove himself to get the contract renewal or whatever might happen. Yeah. Oh, well.
I believe in Victor. Anyway,
So
sorry.
Let's talk about
Rough gig.
Let's talk about Alexander Kristoff. Alexander Kristoff was going for his. We mentioned this a little bit at the end of last week. Was going for his 100th win. I think he's at 98, right?
Yeah.
Crashed out, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Just a rough.
Yeah, he
rough
crashed
go of
out
it.
in the feed zone in what he said was the only pothole on the course. He turned around because his teammate Erland Bliktra
Yeah.
called his name. He looked over his shoulder, hit a pothole, and skinned his arms. And that was that.
Erling must
At
be
Lake
feeling
Howie.
pretty
I didn't
bad.
actually mention what race he was
Oh
at.
yeah, Tour de Langkawi. Yeah, 7 sprint stages out of 8.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which is why he was there, trying
Yeah,
to get
he
that
came
100,
second
right?
on one of them, top 5
Yeah.
on a couple. So you
Poor
know,
guy. Poor guy. The Stavanger Stallion. I'm pretty sure that Ian will have a large story about
Yes.
this man sometime this week.
Yeah.
So keep an eye
a
out for
large
that.
story.
Should we head into Ayuso Alleyway? Again, as I said
Always.
in the intro,
Why not?
our favorite, dampest, darkest, scariest alleyway.
Sometimes.
We no, not the least bit scary actually. But as we are finding out, and again, we have to give Dane Cash kudos for this because he was on this train far earlier than we were. We didn't realize how good Ayuso is for the pod until relatively recently, but he continues to deliver. So we've got a bunch of quotes from the weekend. So we talked before about the Matthias Skelmoza quotes, right? Over at Little Trek, they apparently forgot to tell Skelmoza that Ayuso was inbound, and
Their
obviously that
GC
creates
leader, Skelmoza.
a bit of a leadership headache for that team. Skelmoza basically said, "Well, I'm not exactly excited about it." If I had to paraphrase, Ayuso comes back over the weekend, and Kit, What did he say?
Yeah, so he was actually speaking to Feltet, the Danish paper, Danish broadcaster. So they obviously thought, this is going to be fun. Let's go have a word with Ayuso. So he said, I can understand. Well, exactly. I can understand some parts of his reaction. You can't become one of the best with only a single GC contender. Look at UAE, Visma, Red Bull. They all have several GC riders. If you want to be a super team, that's the way forward. It's just the natural evolution of a team that invests and believes in its project. He did also say,
that sounds like it came from
his
Trek.
reaction if he's been told he's a team leader. So,
do you need?
Sorry, I interrupted the end of your quote there. What was the end bit there?
Well, yeah, I think it was actually, it preceded that little spiel that does already sound like somebody has fed it to him, as you say, Johnny. But I can understand his reaction if he's been told he's a team leader. If he's been told he's a team leader.
To translate the first part, when he's talking in quote marks about the other super teams having several GC riders, we can't just forget immediately that the reason he left UAE was because of these multiple leaders. So now it's just the situation is that there are multiple ones, but he is the top one.
Yeah.
But look, everyone has to play the game. You can't say you say the things between the lines, right? Or you leave the things between the lines that you can't say. But yeah, I mean, the second bit, Kit, about if he's been told as a team leader, it's like
brilliant. Yeah,
it's I love one. So who would have guessed when we were disparaging Dane less than?
But I think Ayuso also knows what he's giving us now. I mean, maybe he always has, but he knows. And like, it was he was just as he did last weekend at the World Championships. He was the first to follow Pogačar when Pogačar attacked at the European Championships. Evenepoel then tried to follow Pogačar, couldn't, and then the two of them formed a group with Paul Seixas and Christian Scaroni. And Ayuso subsequently, so after I think Ayuso finished sixth in the end, 6th or 7th. After Tom Squinch, who is the 70 kilos and above European champion. Congratulations, Toms.
And is always 5th, which I love.
Yeah.
Such a good spot.
But he's so Ayuso apparently, he said, I tried to help Remco fight for the win. And Ayuso and Evenepoel were the only ones doing any pulling. And when Ayuso was leading on the descent in particular, that was the only time they actually took significant time back. So I believe him, and I just love that. I mean, he I think at the time of recording, I think he is still on the Lombardia start list, but he was saying to everyone yesterday that it's his last race on a Colnago. So
he also finished 40 seconds ahead of Skelmoser, so. An early 1-0.
Well, it's again, it's but again, it's Little Trekker looking good in the international stage.
That's true.
But Squeen should be the GC leader, clearly. Yeah.
Whenever they don't have Little Trek kids.
Skelmoser is gonna. Oh, sorry, go on.
I don't want to gloss over that. I tried to help Remco fight for the win quote, right? Because this is against his own trade teammate. Yeah. Now, granted, they are racing for their nations at the Euros, right? They're not racing in trade team colors, but generally, you don't chase down your trade teammates like that, obviously, right? You don't like put your lot in with somebody, because it's not like he's Belgian and he's helping Remco for that reason, right? It's two totally different countries working together. And it to say it out loud, I think in particular, is so lovely and so juicy, and I think that
thank you, Juan.
it just reinforces we were worried. I think Johnny, you were the one that said you were worried that he would like clam up after this. Was it you?
Yes.
That he would he'd fall in line because now he got what he wanted and he'd be fine and we wouldn't get any more Ayuso juicy goodness. And I think the last weekend proved that that's not going to be the case. I think there's going to be plenty to go around.
Yeah, and I think Little Trek are going to do their very best to let everyone get to know him. They'll go and visit him at home, and they'll do videos, and they'll try and bring out the maverick character that he evidently might be. But then maybe it'll unravel when they actually start racing. But we'll have got to know this.
Up his image.
Yeah.
They're going to try and do. They're going to try and solidify his image because they're a very nice team with those very nice riders who obviously never argue or do anything like that. But one Ayuso is about to stress test that to its limits, and I for one can't wait.
I agree. I fully agree. Well, let's saunter out of Ayuso Alleyway. Take a quick break. When we come back, we've got a little bit more Euros to chat about. UAE getting up to 90 wins, and Christopher Blevins. A bit of that. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. While we were out on our extended break there was some breaking news that came across your desk, Johnny. This is big. This is big news that just popped up.
Big news. And I knew it was big news because it dropped into the media group of all the teams have WhatsApp chats with journalists and whatever. This is the Israel Premier Tech group chat. And
that we're not allowed to respond in, by the way.
No.
They're not chats.
Can send messages. Yeah. They're not, no, you can react, which is dangerous sometimes.
You can drop emojis on whatever they write.
Yeah. But I knew this one was going to be good because it was just titled Team Update. Which always lets you know that it's actually worth reading because they're trying to make you think, oh, it's just boring. The big news is that Sylvan Adams, which everyone's already read, obviously, because the podcast comes after, Sylvan Adams has this is what the article says, chosen to step back from his day-to-day involvement and will no longer speak on behalf of the team. Instead focusing on his role as president of the World Jewish Congress, Israel. I'll finish off the interesting bit of the statement. Although a new chapter awaits, one that will be revealed soon, the team will remain true to its founding promise to develop cycling talent from around the world. And they said there seems to suggest the team is continuing in some way, just without Sylvan Adams. Don't know whether that means without Israel, and
I think it means without Israel.
But it probably does mean that, right? Because
I was waiting for you to say developing talent from Canada and Israel, but you said from around the world, which is incredibly open. And
yes,
I mean, it's about as open as you can get, really.
Well, it's like every other team that has riders.
So basically, this team is going to be team, I don't know, Maple Syrup Premier Tech, and they. Yep, and it's a Canadian team. Congratulations.
So Premier Tech doesn't put enough money in for a World Tour team.
No, that's why I said Maple Syrup, and it's a big.
Yeah.
You know, that's.
But like Sylvan Adams need his money to continue in the same.
And so maybe both Cofidis and UNOX will be safe.
Maybe
they'll stay as a pro team.
I guess it kind of makes some sense. I said before that. It's not like I know Sylvan Adams personally, but we've dealt with him enough that I was pretty confident that he was not going to want to change the name.
Yeah,
or step away. It's his project.
I also didn't think he would want to step away. I mean, the big question that comes out of this is just if Sylvan Adams goes, does he take his money with him? And maybe not for 2026. That's entirely possible, right?
It might already be committed.
Yeah, it could be already committed. It could be, and it is. It's pocket change to a billionaire. So it really is. So I can't imagine he'd be excited about that. But I could see it working that way. This is not a direct analogy, obviously. But for example, Rabobank pulled out as a team.
Yeah,
they continue to fund that team as Blanco for another year or two.
Year and a half, I think. Yeah.
A year and a half, yeah. And that was just because they didn't want their name associated with the sport anymore. But they had already made sort of financial obligations. I don't know. I mean, this is broken in the last 15 minutes while we're sitting here. I don't know enough of the details to know where that funding is going to come from, or if this team just immediately goes back down to being Pro Conti or Conti or something like that. Goes back. I mean, it was founded without Sylvan Adams in 2014, right, Johnny? Ron Barron was the other guy involved there, and we don't think that he's got the cash to stump up a couple many millions.
Well, because they need a bigger budget than they have done for the past 3 years because they are in the promotion bracket, aren't they? So they do need some cash.
Interesting.
I mean, when I read the part of the statement where it's like cycling talent from around the world, my mind immediately went to Rwanda because they obviously have ties with them, and Rwanda have recently stepped up its sponsorship in sport. I think it is. Is it? It's one of the LA basketball teams. I think have just done a big commercial deal with Visit Rwanda, and they've also Visit Rwanda. That's hard to say. Has also sponsored Arsenal Football Club for quite a while.
Yeah.
The big winner here is Chris Froome, who managed to ride the gravy train exactly just before the train pulled into its final station. So you kind of just have to say congrats to Chris Froome, who timed everything.
Rwanda is an interesting They just opened that facility in Rwanda too. There's
yeah.
a bunch of press around it.
Yeah, and they've
at
had
Worlds.
ties for a while as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why they've always sent a really good team to the Tour de Rwanda.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, if anybody was wondering what our sort of immediate post-breaking news edit calls feel like, that's basically what that was. That's us sitting here going, what are the stories here and what can we actually find out?
Just to clarify, Rwanda has signed a deal with the LA Rams NFL team and the Los Angeles Clippers basketball team. So those are going to be pretty
Big
substantial
money.
deals.
Yeah.
So they could easily find some money for a cycling team too if they go on this big push.
Interesting.
So yeah, that's something that we'll keep an eye on. I
Definitely.
imagine there might be some other announcements following soon if they're starting to,
Well, they have to.
send out things like that.
It's all a time of year when it has to happen really fast, or they're going to miss out on all sorts of things for the next season.
Yeah.
Yeah. The big question will be whether it's enough for protesters, and whether they effectively manage to change the team's image sufficiently that the team no longer is protested against. Speaking of which, actually, Israel Premier Tech's Oded Kogut, who won stage 6 of the Crow race, and did post on Instagram to all of our haters or everyone who thought to kick us out of the sport, this one is for you from my whole heart. So, I mean, presumably he didn't know that Sylvan Adams was leaving when he said that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, the story's not done yet, but maybe it looks like it's reaching some sort of conclusion soon,
or an
Or at least
evolution,
shifting.
at least.
At least shifting into something new. Let's get to what we were originally supposed to be talking about in this section, which is the Euro World Euro Road
Euro
Race.
Worlds.
The Euro Worlds.
The Euro Worlds.
Yeah.
That's what it was, right? It was the Euro Worlds. It was
Yeah.
it
The
was,
worlds, the normal worlds are the Euro worlds, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
It's like you American sporting people with your World Series.
Oh, and
Yeah.
Super Bowl world
well,
champions. Yeah.
Kit, you missed because I complained about this quite a bit at the end of last week, which is just like the Euros and the Commonwealth game. I just there's this. But
Well,
then
the Commonwealth Games is a whole other thing, which is
Yeah.
mired in difficult questions, and that's different. different
general
thing.
ridiculousness. But then it
General
was
ridiculousness.
it was accurately pointed out on Discord after that exactly what you just said, which is I come from a country that is the only one to play certain sports, or at least was at first, and called things World Series. And then now that other countries, like for example baseball in Japan, might come in and beat us, we're just like, no, you can't.
Amazing.
This is ours. There is flag football in the LA Olympics.
You need someone to beat you at that. That would be very funny.
Yeah, which I don't know. Haven't played flag football since I was like in 4th grade. It's like, does anyone else play flag football? Does anyone play
Canada? If Canada beat you, that would be fun.
That would be very funny.
It would be great.
Yeah, it'd be very funny. Anyway, the Euros, really hard road race.
Yeah.
One with 2 solo rides. I mean, this is it's a reflection of where the sport is now. That when they make days this hard, it makes it worse. Just makes it worse, right? Like, it's all about balance. It's all about making it just hard enough that you don't have a sprinter win it, because that's boring, and not so hard that the best rider in the world, both men's and women's peloton, can just peace out. Right?
I mean, I do agree with to a certain extent. I mean, Tim Merlier was the man who was particularly vocal about this past few days. But I don't want to see him win a world championships. I think he should at some point, because he is probably the best sprinter on the planet. But or at least best professional sprinter on the planet. I think if there is an argument for the world championships being won by the best rider of the moment, which is Tadej Pogačar.
Yeah.
And the same for the Euros. However,
but if you make the course easier, he doesn't win it like that.
No, exactly. Yes.
Right.
And that's the whole idea of making something more interesting by making it harder, and the narrative being, it was the survival of the fittest. That's not very fun to watch. Belgium did a good job of trying to make the Europeans more fun, but they kind of just rolled out a massive long red carpet for Pogačar, 75 kilometers of it. I did enjoy. I mean, I did quite enjoy what the
world's longest and most ineffectual lead up.
Yeah, well, it was very effective for Pogačar. But I mean, I think Belgium should be commended for doing something. You could argue that they should have just let him go when he went, not have done anything up until that point, so that they still had 6 riders to support Remco, and then drag him back on the flat roads between the steep climbs in the finale. Yeah. But he did keep saying, you know, he knew that Remco was only a minute behind him, and he didn't try and put any more time into him. He was just, you know, so who knows? He might have had loads left. He might have just kept. So yeah, I think he was the rightful winner. Didn't make it a good race. Belgium tried. Belgium made 40 kilometers of the race fun to watch, but the outcome was still pretty inevitable.
The vast majority of chatter on the live chat on Discord was all about Seixas in third.
Yeah. 19
that
years
seemed
old,
to be where,
only just as well.
Well, and who was fourth? Who was he racing against?
It was Scaroni, the guy who got
Scaroni.
loads and loads of points for Astana at the beginning of the season.
Yeah. So that was that's where most of the chatter was. It was basically like that was by far the most interesting duel in the entire men's race was between those two. Seixas is just so good.
Yeah.
As is Del Toro, by the way.
We'll talk about that later. We've got quite and things to actually block. Anyway, did you see L'Equipe's headline?
No.
Beg your pardon?
L'Equipe's headline for Paul Seixas was Déjà Grande, already big.
Oh.
So just if you want to take the temperature of where the French are at with their guy winning a bronze medal.
Thoughts and prayers with Paul Seixas.
Yeah, big time. Did you see also the fans, first of all, getting their whole arse out as he rode past, but then sticking loads of flyers on him, which was a bit weird.
It looked like the Royal Mile in Edinburgh in August.
Yeah. Yes.
No, bad vibe. I mean, really, like the sort of the back-to-back comparison between the fans in Rwanda and the fans at Euros was like quite dramatic, and the fans in Rwanda were significantly better fans. They weren't sticking stickers on people.
You sound like you're about to do a Europe has fallen tweet, Kaylee, and I'm not here for it.
No, I'm like but Europe has been the where all these issues are like Montreal. We're not having crazy yahoos sticking stuff on people in Montreal.
It's just France, really.
It's just France.
France is having a bad time right now.
It's not. It's the old cycling nations that feel, you know, they've gotten a little too comfortable.
Well, I was thinking
riders,
France just generally. I think most of France is struggling right now politically.
You know what I'm rereading right now?
Jesus. What are you reading?
Le Freak.
Oh,
I need to.
Have you guys read that? Have you read it?
I need to.
I studied economics at A-level and I decided I can't.
For those who don't know what I'm talking about, it's a book by Alex Duff, and it looks into the Amory family from a business perspective.
Yeah, it's basically money in cycling.
Yeah, I read it when it first came out, and I'm rereading it because it's that good, and it's like a good reminder of why. If you're ever like, why cycling? Why you like this? That book tells you why. It tells you exactly why. I've just started reading again this morning. I was here with
Sounds like it might be required reading then.
It is
take back
definitely
my derision.
It is definitely required reading.
Can I log the hours?
With my new absolutely. My new Stacey Snyder mug. While we're throwing plugs in here. Kip beat me to it by like half a year. Cheers. There we go. Thank you, Stacey, for sending that over. I really appreciate you. I was sitting there with my mug this morning, reading the book, and literally in the prologue, I was reminded of the way that Duff describes cycling and the way that the Amory family has built it as feudalism. Where in feudalism, I'm taking us on a bit of a tangent here. In feudalism, right? So like you had a king, and then you had like serfs that would like do stuff on the land, right? And they got to keep some of the whatever they grew in the land, and then the other bits they had to give to the king because it was actually all his land. That's cycling, right? The pro cycling teams, they get to use the Tour de France's land, and they get to bring sponsorship in, and they get to keep that. But then also, the Tour de France keeps everything else.
I'm just
absolutely everything else.
You know what I'm picturing now?
Yeah.
Dominic Sirius, or however you say his name, in that episode of Unchained when the decathlon boys were sat around looking absolutely miserable. His serfs, not delivering the goods.
Yeah,
I think
enforcers.
Yeah,
like I said, I had forgotten about this analogy, but I really do think cycling is feudalism, basically top to bottom.
Yeah. Yeah.
It really is.
Where are
It's
we?
just-
Where do we get to be? Are
we
we in the woods,
are-
like playing stringed instruments or something?
Yes, I was gonna say we are some sort of roving band.
Probably
and we
high on mushrooms or something.
Yeah, we show up, and we entertain the downtrodden
little
masses. That's what we
Subjective
do.
value.
Occasionally get thrown a bone by the one Ayusos of the serfdom.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. Sorry, I didn't mean to take us
That's
on
all
that.
right.
I was just
I
it was
enjoyed
on my
it.
mind this morning, and yeah, do highly recommend that book. And Kit and Johnny, you both of you got to read it as well.
Yeah.
I think everybody's got to read it. It's kind of like Ian not having seen Breaking Away yet, which I have been.
Oh my god! Wait.
Literally-
Okay.
This either.
Can we do a watch along then? I want to do a like a
Yeah.
like
maybe
with
go.
Discord or something.
yeah, and then we can do a rewatchable style podcast with me, Ian, and whoever else
Do
has
it.
watched Breaking Away. I would love that. That'd be great
Do
fun.
it.
I'd be
There we
all about
go.
it.
Off-season
Could-
podcast
could-
number one.
could we
sorted.
could pull in-
Edit call this podcast today.
We could pull in somebody who one of my good friends has raced Little 500.
There we go.
I've covered it, but I've obviously raced it and go to IU. But yeah, we could pull in a Little 5
That would be a lot
Local.
of fun.
and like hardcore cyclist who would have things to say about the
Yeah,
film as well.
Ian needs to see this.
I'm really
bring us
this is
back
I'll
to the
just
Euros?
I'll do pretty much almost anything to not talk about the European
Yeah.
Championships.
I've
Well,
got
I think we've covered
something
it. We've covered it.
I've actually got something interesting.
Okay,
Look,
Johnny.
If I'm having to bring us back, then you know it's gone. Okay, so Bisma Lisa Bike not competing in the European Championships. Their riders were though, so they thought it'd be kind, or I don't know, necessary to tweet out the fact. Okay, I'm gonna read it. There's 4 pictures of Jonas Vingegaard in Danish kit, and the caption or tweet reads, "Is Jonas' first championship appearance with the national team and his first one-day race since August 2024. Winky face."
Which he
At the bottom of the
DNF'd.
tweet, which he did DNF. Yeah, we didn't actually mention that. Yeah, DNF'd. I don't know. Apparently can't ride his bike once, but can for 21 times in a row. I'm too stupid to understand why that is the case. But then at the bottom of the tweet, it said this tweet was last edited at this time. So I clicked on it, being like, "That's weird. What did they have to edit?" They deleted the final line from the tweet, which said, "Hope you enjoy it, Jonas."
Why? Because he didn't.
I guess so, but it was before the race.
Oh, it was
so
before
I
the
don't know.
race.
I don't know why they thought that needed deleting.
They didn't
But-
want the faff of putting him in different kit.
Yeah, I don't know. They just
He
they
didn't have a
deleted
good
that line.
day.
They just
He
deleted
didn't
that
have a
line.
good day. Yeah,
But he might have still
he
enjoyed
dropped
it a
off the.
little bit.
Apparently he was unwell. Okay, so we're going back to Scalemoser now, who seems to be a fountain of great quotes as well. But he had a very bizarre thing to say about Jonas Vingegaard, 2-time Tour de France winner, recent Vuelta
Yeah.
winner. Apparently he needed reminding that everyone else hurts when they're on a bicycle, and that actually carb loading makes you feel a bit sluggish for a bit.
Ow.
It's just, I mean, I think basically Jonas Vingegaard was feeling rather unlike himself, and same with Joao Almeida, who was also on his first race back after the Vuelta. But Scalemoser said, "He told me he wasn't feeling well. I tried to motivate him, reminding him that we were all suffering. I insisted that he should continue, because sometimes after 2 days of carbo loading, the legs can feel heavy until the body is fully activated."
2 days. That's
I mean,
mad.
Phil Jonas Vingegaard with 2 days of carbs. I can imagine feeling sluggish. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Where does it all go?
Well, precisely. But yeah, so he was dropped before the halfway point, but he hasn't been training specifically for it. He just wanted to test himself. And he has won a one-day race in that exact region. So it's not completely beyond the realms of possibility that he could have done something there,
Yeah.
but he didn't do anything there at all.
Why does the European champion wear a jersey all season, but the other champions don't?
They do.
Do they?
They do. You
Yeah.
just don't see them.
The
I
African
guess they're
Ryan
just not at the
Gibbons,
race, are they?
Yeah.
Ryan Gibbons in the African champions jersey, remember?
Yeah.
And occasionally
yeah,
there's
yeah.
an Astana rider in that.
I was thinking like Pan Am's,
multicoloured.
but I guess that nobody's been.
There was one of the what was his? Which one was it? Was it Pierre Andre Cotte, who was the
Oh,
Canadian chap? I think he might have
that's a
been.
guy.
He
I
wrote
just
for
sorta-
Human Powered Health, and now he's.
Sort of answered my own question, which is that it's just like not somebody you're going to see at the front of the Tour de France generally.
Except Ryan Gibbons, who has
Ryan
won,
Gibbons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. It's tends to be. I mean,
I take it back.
occasionally an Astana rider will have the Asian champions jersey, which is I think the rainbow stripes, but with white in between them. It's quite a kind of cheeky jersey. It looks it looks like a Masters World Champions jersey. You know,
isn't that the one that what's her name in the women's peloton was wearing?
No, that's you're thinking about Mauritius.
Oh yeah, that's a confusing one as well, though, isn't it?
Yeah, but it is at least the Mauritian flag.
Oh, fair point. Well made.
This is just Johnny and I throwing out really stupid takes and then Kit batting them back.
It's been a long season. We need.
It's been a long season.
Can I throw out a take? I am glad that Pogačar won because I dislike the European Champions.
Yeah, I don't love it
so
either. People
heavily.
talk about it so much.
That's where I was going with the jersey question.
I don't love it.
It's rubbish. It's so when Kristoff Laporte was wearing it, it just makes it. It's just like
it looks like a word art jersey.
Yeah, it's like the branding on the side of a building on a nondescript European motorway.
Yeah,
where it's just like a company that like processes grains or something, and it's just boring and makes me sad. So I'm glad
there is no
that
branding,
he
right?
won.
Like the World Champion stripes are among the greatest branding anywhere in sport, right? Just so simple, so easily identified, like just visual.
Well, it's obviously it's a bit EU-y, isn't it? Like.
Yeah,
jersey design. So much derision, Johnny.
Well, because that's a rubbish like brand. Like it's boring as well.
You're saying jersey design by committee and regulation? Is that what we're talking about?
Popular vote, maybe.
Yeah.
That's always gone so well before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
that's
all right.
That's my main take from.
I got one more thing before we wrap up here, which is that Christopher Blevins won the men's elite race at Lake Placid over the weekend, making him the first. I'm going to get this stat wrong. The first North American to win on North American soil at a World Cup in, I don't know, a very long time. I don't have it right in front of me, but it's a very, very long time. And it's exciting because, us North Americans, we don't win a lot in cross country, except for Chris Blevins in the last couple of years, last year or two, actually. And as we talked about, Durango getting worlds, exciting. We also have like the LA Olympics coming up, and Blevins is aimed pretty well at that. And anyway, I mostly wanted to highlight it because Alex Hunt, our colleague Alex, has put up a report up on the site. We're slowly like pushing more and more cross country content onto the site. We're figuring out the right ways to do it and the ways that I guess work basically. So expect more of that as we go into next season. We've got a lot going on. And yeah, go check out the report. There's going to be a gallery from Piper Albrecht sometime today, Monday, as well. So go check that one out. And congrats to Christopher for the win over the weekend. Another Durango boy. So I am actually contractually obliged to mention that. Oh, did I tell you guys that I purchased visitdurango.org?
Yes,
you didn't. All right, well, not me, but that's good news.
Do you want to open it up, Kit, and just give us your thoughts?
Oh, no. I have seen this. Sorry, brain fart. Yes, I very much enjoyed this. It was a lovely wander into your brain.
Did you, at school, Kit, did you have IT lessons?
Yes, I did. Learn to touch type.
That's useful. Whereas this is like the sort of stuff that we had to do when I was like 13 years old.
Yeah, I did this too.
Build a website.
Yeah.
Because at the time they didn't realise the speed of technological progress.
It's already, Kaylee. I've already looked at it for sure because it's actually giving me Siri suggested.
Give me what?
As in when you type it in.
And it's sending me to the wrong place. I typed in your website address and it's sending me to the wrong one.
Yeah, well, I mean, the tourism board, nobody owns visitdurango.com. Or at least somebody does, and I'm not going to buy it. Visitdurango.org was $9, so I thought that was a worthwhile investment. And I think
it's a very lovely website, Kaylee.
Thank you very much.
Is that bear actually from? I'm not going to lie to him, Kit. Is that bear actually from Durango, or is that just any old bear?
That's just any old bear. In fact, we don't even have those type of bears in Durango.
I thought, Johnny, it was layered with enough British sarcasm, delivered dryly enough to be believable that it was.
I think it's just bringing back way too many memories from my early secondary school days that I'm still processing it.
Yeah, but didn't you see that there's a chart in there that proves that Durango is the best town? Didn't you see the chart?
Yeah, I saw that. Boulder, Durango, and Tokyo. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the prize? Click for a prize.
I'm not clicking that. You shouldn't click those sorts of links on the internet.
You never should you? No,
never. Maybe I'm just jealous because I don't have a website.
I mean, I'll continue to update it. as we have more information. Right now, it's a 13-minute video with no sound from the 1990 World Championships, and
plenty of Comic
excellent images.
Sans.
And there's lots of Comic Sans, which was very much on purpose. All right,
Yeah,
let's take a quick break. When we come back, we've got a little more Del Toro. We've got a corrections corner, and then we're out of here. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. Isaac Del Toro and his UAE team are already, reportedly, discussing a contract extension beyond 2029, which is where his current contract ends. This is according to Dan Benson. This is among the least surprising things that I've read in quite some time, because what happens when you extend your contract?
Get more money.
You get more money. You get to renegotiate your salary as well. And I think that Del Toro absolutely deserves to have that happen after the season.
It also means that the team can renegotiate the terms so that it's harder for somebody to poach him.
Yep. And as we already know, money is not really a real thing to UAE.
No.
Neither are contracts.
Neither are contracts.
Nothing.
Congrats to Isaac Del Toro for frankly getting what he deserves. As I've said many times, he is scary good.
He just ripped up the rest of the peloton on Saturday.
Yeah.
It looked like Pidcock was going to win, and then there was a quite big gap with a kilometre to go, and then suddenly Del Toro was on his wheel.
Yeah,
it was quite impressive.
Well, I mentioned this to you guys before we hit record, but the reason why I think everyone should be terrified of him is that, like, he can beat you in so many different ways. You know, and the big thing is that he's got an actual sprint, which, it just means you have to get rid of him. He's going to win so much because of that, right? Because he doesn't have to be the strongest rider in the race to win the race. Whereas, like, even Pogacar generally has to be the strongest to win the bicycle race, right? And he usually,
quite often.
yeah, he usually is, and so that's not generally a problem for him. But like as he starts to get slower, it will become a problem for him, and he will win less and less as a result. When you have a Del Toro-like sort of physiology, where you've got this punch, it's basically like Valverde is probably the closest analogy I can think of, where Valverde could really sprint when he needed to. And before, like the sort of a little bit less climby, obviously, would be like a Peter Sagan, where like if you didn't get rid of him, he was going to beat you. And so I just see him as an absolute. I've said this many times, an absolute monster. That it's for that exact, like, because of the sort of nature of his skill set. That just makes him a really, really hard rider to beat. So I'm not the least bit surprised that they're trying to lock him down for. I mean, where do you go past 2029? It's only 2025. Like, how long is that contract going to be for?
Ever?
Forever? Yeah, he'll get the earliest lifetime contract in the history of lifetime contracts, which is only a year. But
we can't have another dominant era of someone doing the Pogacar 60-kilometre solo move. So if he's happy to keep some suspense and just beat everyone in a sprint, that's fine by me.
I agree.
To be honest,
I agree. Much more fun to watch.
I think he should go to Guangxi and show us. I mean, the UAE are going to want to send him to as many races as possible for the rest of the season, because he clearly can win and will win, and he can't stop winning unless his teammate wins, which happened yesterday.
They could send anyone though. That team, they might send.
This is true.
Kristens.
Yeah.
One of them. I think
well, they've only got one of them. Fabio is on Q36.5. They could try.
I meant more one of them as in I don't know which one.
Fair enough.
I can't remember.
No, because UAE are now ticked over 90 wins, which doesn't include, as Cycling News reported, the World or European Championships for Tadej. I think the points go towards their team tally, but it doesn't actually count as a team win.
Count. Yes.
So they are on 90.
Pablo Torres, they could also send.
Yeah, they've got. I mean, they don't need either of their big boys, but it would be quite fun if they sent Pogacar, Del Toro, Almeida. Almeida might go to Guangxi because he fell off the back at the Euros as well. Anyway.
Also, I think we save this bit for After Dark. Cycling News also did an interesting interview with Adam Hansen, which I think we should discuss, but within the trust tree. Corrections Corner, I'm going to hand them out because I think I've escaped. Although I did miss the mountain biking from the TV guide last week, but you know, if you knew, you knew. If you didn't know, you probably didn't care. Kit, home of
Hello.
darts, Lakeside, very
Well,
much
see,
like the Discord. I guess.
I would contest this and say that as somebody who doesn't know anything about darts, the only building that I can associate with darts and that I've ever heard of is Ali Pali. So it's the only thing that I associate with darts. I've never heard of the Lakeside.
Is Lakeside a place?
I don't even. I mean, I
really,
know the concept of a lakeside, but I don't know what the lakeside is or where it is. I have not. Sorry, I don't. Maybe Ali Pali isn't the home of darts, but it is the most associated with darts to a non-darts person.
Yeah, I enjoy that you've chosen your hill to die on, and it's darts. Kaylee, you got picked up a couple times over the past week of podcasting.
Yeah.
Only once on YouTube for your squeaky chair, which I thought would have driven many more people insane. But I don't think the numbers suffered, so we're lucky. You got.
It was Uncle Dan's squeaky chair.
Goddamn Uncle
Dan's squeaky chair. That sounds like the start of a short story.
Yeah, you were down separately on both Tadej Pogacar for his 2025 season and on Visma Lease a Bike, despite the fact that they won. Despite the fact that they won, what, 2 Grand Tours?
2 Grand Tours, yeah.
Yeah.
Already
bunch of other things this season.
Quite a lot of things.
What did I say? What was it? What are they pulling
You
me up
said
on?
they're not what they used to be, which I think is also true.
Yeah,
they
won 3. They won 3 previously.
Yeah.
I
think Kaylee and I have both been picked up on our choices of words in 2 different separate instances relating to 2 entities that are clearly neither bad or worse, or those words. Well, they might be slightly worse statistically, but it's some words don't belong anywhere near certain people. Like Pogacar shouldn't ever be described as worse than anything.
I'm just bringing a voice to the logistically voiceless.
That's well, I think if we've got to be able to defend ourselves, right?
Oh yeah, big time.
Yeah, no, I think
I'll defend myself. Visma's worse than they used to be.
Yeah, well, they are not as good as they used to be.
Yeah.
I don't. When was I down on Tadej Pogacar about this year?
I was down on Tadej Pogacar.
Was it? Oh, sorry.
I described.
Sorry.
I described Tadej Pogacar's 2025 as worse than his 2024 using those words. What I should have said is that Tadej Pogacar's 2024 was more successful on paper. He got 25 wins than in 2025, which was far more interesting, better to watch, and probably satisfying for him because he actually did more interesting things like go to Paris-Roubaix, Tour of Flanders, win the Tour dominantly, win Worlds and Euros and everything else in between.
The thing about worse...
But he's only won 15 things.
Yeah, the thing about worse is it's a completely subjective word.
Yeah.
Well, that's
so,
also true.
Kit, you are welcome to your opinion, as is the Discord. We can argue about this till the cows come home. I think that's actually part of the fun. We often do.
Yes.
We often do.
You can get around in circles.
Yeah. I think
the metrics change. The metrics can be different. I do believe that Pogacar is probably at his best ever, or that the competition is at its worst ever.
I don't know if you two are like this, but sometimes people will message me on Instagram or something and call me out for something I said in the pod that I don't remember saying.
I remember
yeah.
I couldn't remember.
Sometimes I'm quite terrified by things I've apparently said.
I mean, it's a bit of an excuse here, right? But I don't know, how many hours of podcast have I made over the course of the last decade? It's in the thousands, right? I've said many things. Some hopefully smart, many very dumb.
Well, and also most things that we say on this podcast, given that it's essentially a news podcast, its life cycle is very short. So we are going to be wrong at some point.
We get proven wrong regularly.
I didn't mean to bring this. Didn't mean to completely exercise all of this. Sorry, guys. I won't bring it up next time. I'll just send. I'll put out a Movistar-esque statement for you instead.
No, I always like opening up Discord and seeing what I've said on that day's episode, finding out
what
good
exercise in mental acrobatics to try and work out what's going on.
It's like being in Severance, the TV show.
It is a little bit.
I wonder what my innie's doing in the podcast today.
I think Pogacar's 2025 is better than his 2024.
Yeah.
off of my subjective, like, did I enjoy watching it? Which is really, I think, maybe the best measure for each of us. Is that all the corrections we have? Is that really we like? Huh.
Yeah.
We've actually been doing quite well then. Yeah.
Well, they're the ones I bought.
Well, except for Misha Bredewald having apparently won
my
Euros
God.
last
Oh.
Thursday. You
Yeah.
nubdies.
Correct.
That's my one. That's
Corrections
my
corner.
one.
for
She
Johnny.
almost wasn't even on the
Conveniently
podium.
left off. Yeah.
The best part is like Dane and I just didn't even catch it, right? But again, like
I
I think
know.
people when you're making a podcast, like my brain is usually somewhere else while we're
Yeah.
talking, trying to
I was
figure out what
in-
we're going to talk about
during
next.
the women's race, I was in deepest, darkest Wales. Misha
Yeah.
Bridwell didn't even exist in that space and time that I was in there.
Raphael
She's
on
my world
Discord.
champion.
Raphael on Discord says the U.S. ball sports tangents are too tangential for him.
Uh-oh.
We know Raphael. We've met Raphael in person.
We have.
Yeah.
Um,
I remain.
I'll learn about French EuroLeague handball, Raphael, for next month.
Handball is the dumbest sport.
Yeah.
There's a
Handball's
subjective opinion for
is
you.
fun.
I
It's
can't be
fun,
bothered
like
with it.
in gym
Yeah.
class.
Yeah. That's what I was about to say.
If I'm browsing, this is often during the cycling season, I think, when I'm flicking through the various like TNT Sports or whatever, and then I'll just like come across like a bit of handball, and I feel annoyed that it's just on. I know that's very not very understanding, and everyone
it's like
can
a bit
do
like-
their own thing, but
Yeah. It's a bit like the various indoor cycling competitions. It's like, oh, this is interesting once.
yeah, I'm
Or
not-
Olympic
not
diving.
even.
It's like, okay, that's impressive. That's
You
quite
could just
fun.
ha- you
But
could
then
just
it's
hang
done.
onto the ball with your hands. Like,
there are rules and stuff though.
yeah, but like, and then the net is big, so you just run up and you just throw it in. Seems
Look,
like a very
if-
simple sport.
If it's an Olympic sport, and even when it's on the Olympics, I can't be bothered to watch it.
So,
I think
but
it's time to find a different sport.
there are a lot of Olympic sports that are like that, though.
Yeah.
Like I said, we have flag
Shooting.
football. Flag football next time,
Yeah, that might be.
which is a
Well,
sport
three-
played by like in intramural college
Yeah.
setting, and that's
At
pretty
least
much
it's going to
it.
be like freak athletes, where it's just like the fastest people ever.
It will be. It will be.
Mm.
But
If you're into handball, I don't know. Explain to me on Discord why I'm wrong. But every time I watch it, I'm like, this just seems like easier basketball and soccer put together. Right?
agreed.
Am I wrong about that?
Agreed.
It seems like what it is. All right. Well, on that
Yeah,
just positive
Could have
note.
saved that for after dark.
What do we have left? for
Should
after
save that
dark?
one for after dark. We got stuff. Do we?
We do.
We have stuff. Yeah,
Yeah,
we have
I've got a
stuff.
couple of
We got a
things to
list
say.
here. Yep. Well, we do need to head after dark. So if you'd like to join us, you got to sign up. EscapeCollective.com/join. Members support everything we do here at Escape Collective. It's literally why this podcast exists. Do I need to repeat that? It is why this podcast exists for those members. So sign up, please. EscapeCollective.com/join and join us in After Dark, where we'll give you our real opinions on handball. Let's head to After Dark. Bye-bye.